Hey, Hawkeye fans, welcome back. Well, the Hawks did not come away with a win versus Michigan State. We're going to recap that game. We've also got an amazing interview with Brian Allen Jr. You do not want to miss that one. And the homecoming game is coming up. The Hawks are coming home, taking on Northwestern. We're going to preview that game. Thanks for coming back. This is Talkin Hawks presented by Hills Bank.
No matter where you are in life, Hills Bank is here to help you succeed.
Whether you're buying your first house, saving for your child's future, or preparing for retirement, you can count on the people at Hills Bank for the support you need to reach your goals.
It's easy to connect with a banker in person, over the phone, or on hillsbank.com.
Because we believe banking is better through human connection.
Hills Bank is an equal housing lender and FDIC member.
Hi, Matt.
Hey.
How's it going?
God is good.
How was your weekend?
You know, could have been better on Saturday night, but outside of that, it was a pretty solid weekend.
Yeah.
How was yours, Laura?
My weekend was so good. It was so lovely. We got to go to the pumpkin patch. Shout out Curl Farm. Is it Curl Farms or Curl Farm?
There's more than one.
Okay. Anyway, got to do that with the kids, which was so nice to just have a Saturday, and it was like beautiful outside.
It really was.
So,
it's kind of odd. What are we, October 20th when we're recording? So we went there on the 19th.
And it was 70 degrees. It was beautiful. It was so lovely. And then we went to dinner with my parents. That was great. At Big Grove, a lovely sponsor of the podcast. And yeah, it was just great. And then watched the game, which a night game is really nice.
Because the kids go to bed and then you and I can watch it.
Because the kids go to bed and then you and I get to watch it, which, no offense to the kids, but like it's a lot easier to watch the game when they're not around. So
tell me about it, Laura, when you're working home games.
Sorry. I'm not sorry about that.
No, you're not.
I'm not. But yeah, so it was nice to watch the game, but the game's ending was not exactly what we were hoping for.
Mm-hmm.
So should we talk about it?
Yeah.
All right, we can. Where do you want to start?
Let's start on our offensive side of the ball.
Okay.
I thought we were over this tale of two halves thing.
I know.
But first half.
But you have to keep saying it.
I know. Tale of two halves. The second half, we tied 20-20. So, I mean, like a lot of points, 40 points scored in the second half between both Michigan State and us. But we just missed some passes. I thought the play calling was relatively good. I mean, I think our first three possessions, we were 3 and out. But I want to say it was our second possession going right to left on the screen. We had a play action pass, and it was Reese Vanderzee going to the out. And Cade just missed him. You know, I mean, there's a couple there that I'm sure Cade wishes he had back. But so like missing that kind of stuff is just tough. And then they're stacking the box. They know that they have to stop Caleb Johnson. I mean, that's what we're going to face every time out. And not only that, you're going to face 8 and 9 man boxes. You know, they played man across the board. They did good. You know, credit Michigan State. They had some good defensive plays, you know, to keep us where we needed to be. They were relatively sound. So unfortunately, we just weren't able to take care of that. I mean, in that first half, we were 0 for 5 on third down. No bueno.
Tough. That's not great.
But 5 for 6 in the second half on third down. Like there was definite improvement when we went into halftime. It's just we need to find a way to start that way.
Yeah, that's true. I actually have a question when you're talking about like the missed passes. It just seemed like they were like some out in front, some that were behind. Obviously, one that I think he knew the second it came out of his hand that got thrown to
the interception. Yeah.
Yeah. But the announcers were talking about him like throwing off of his back foot. I might have already asked you this question, but like really briefly, can you talk about why that's an issue and why that potentially could cause the like just being off, behind, or in front of, or whatever that might be?
Well, we talked about it week 1.
Did we?
Because there was a comment. They're like, hey, it's just like you're throwing a baseball or whatever it was. There was the comment about that. But essentially, you just don't have power behind your throw. You're a lot less likely to dictate where it goes. And with Cade's game, and we'll talk about it later too, he did have some really good passes. Replacement was key. And so sometimes when you're trying to be that precise and you're throwing off your back foot, it's just not near as precise. You can't get the power behind it, can't get driven. And so that leads to some of those poor passes.
Is that what you saw too?
Yeah, more so in the first half.
Because you know what? Sometimes you say things, and then actually more times than not, you say something, and then a second later, 2 seconds later, the announcer says the exact same thing. And we always just like laugh about it. But I was just curious. And sometimes like they'll say something and be like, that's not what that was. Like, that's not what that route was or whatever. And
yeah, like when they called the interception, they were like, he had a seam by both the tight end. No, the tight end hooked it up at 10 yards. The seam was by Seth Anderson. and we had an outside receiver that was running a go ball as well on the interception. I don't know if Cade, I don't know if there's a miscommunication where it's like maybe, and I don't know this for sure, but it could have been a read for Lachey, like, hey, if there's somebody over the top, you snap it off, or if it's a true, he's meant to hook it up and then he just didn't throw to Seth where he meant to. Like maybe he meant to back shoulder him and unfortunately came out wrong. I mean, there's stuff that happens, right? But some of the placements, like the one to Reese Vandersy, I want to say it was third down and it hits him on the back shoulder as he's running across. That ball placement was phenomenal because it kept him away from the DB. Like there's some things there where it's like, okay, you don't want to lead him because you don't want to lead him into somebody bad that's going to smack him. So if you throw a back shoulder, it forces him to slow his momentum and he has an opportunity then to not get blown up. And the ball placement on the go ball, still not a great route by Reese Vandersy, mainly because he just got wide into the sideline. But like that's the kind of ability that we've been hearing about of like, he does this all the time. We just haven't really have an opportunity to see him do it. Mm-hmm. I'm hoping that this boosts not only Reese's confidence, but then Cade's confidence. I mean, you think about it, you're going down there, it's 3-by-1, you're in the red zone. Reese is on an island by himself, man-to-man coverage, and the QB is going to say, all right, I'm going to let him try and win one-on-one. Like that takes a lot of confidence. I know that a lot of kind of the more conservative running the football types would say, run it on first down, run it on second down, maybe play action on third down, but instead they gave him the keys to say, hey, just give him a shot out there, just see what happens. So boom, does it, pays off, phenomenal catch, even through the pass interference call. So I thought that was great. There were a couple other things that I feel like we should talk about, and that's we're now 7 of 7 with Brendan Sullivan in there in the red zone. Mm-hmm. Which I think is incredible to come away with that kind of number. But I almost feel like when we're in 3rd and short or 4th and short, maybe we need to look at that package a little bit too. Because, you know, red zone is like, well, we only have to go 20 yards and that's it. So it kind of dictates what the defense is going to do. Typically, you're not going to face zone unless it's a true fence defense. And what I mean by that is basically the defenders make a fence on the goal line and then they just take whoever comes near them. And that way they don't give up anything in the end zone. Or you're going to face true man-to-man coverage. That's really about all you face. They're not playing like a true cover 3. They're not playing a true cover 2. They might play like a 1 high where the safety maybe is like spying a QB or something if he's a running quarterback. Similar to what Brendan Sullivan can do, and he even scored on one, right? But I almost feel like that can be added to like a 3rd and short package. I know that we've got Caleb Johnson, but adding that little bit of uncertainty when he comes in the game. And it's not saying like Brendan Sullivan's the best running quarterback that's ever existed, but he does add a little bit of dynamics to what the defense has to take into account for.
Well, and I think you saying he's 7 for 7 in the red zone, that adds some
that speaks for it, right?
You're saying. Yeah. So I see what you're saying there.
So on 3rd and short, 4th and short, I'm surprised that we haven't quite seen that package go to there yet. But hopefully that'll kind of be the case. Gotcha. We do go down and score. So then we go in the 2-point play. Sullivan's not out there. To me, like that's the same kind of situation that you've prepped your team for. Now, if he's never taken the 2-point play, I get it. And I'm not trying to like create a discrepancy here, but I just thought that was kind of the way that we were going to go. I do like the 2-point play call. It was kind of a high-low read where you've got 2 crossers underneath. And essentially what you're hoping is that the linebacker, if they've got a spy or something like that, is going to either jump back and take away Gill, who's running the back line because it was a crossing route. Gill went from left to right. Lachey, I believe, went from right to left. And so as they cross, maybe somebody hits each other. Maybe the linebacker picks the wrong one and then Cade throws the other one. They did have a rat in the middle, and unfortunately he wasn't able. Seeing the back view, they're like, oh, he should have hit Gill, which Gill did kill the guy on the release. It was great. Boom, boom, boom. Set him up outside, one inside, and he threw it. It just happened to be right where Lachey was running his under. Mm. So it could have been, honestly, going to Gill based on where it was at. Lachey, obviously a big target. You know, you'd like to see him come down with it. He had an opportunity. I think that's about as good as it gets. You try to get your best guy the ball and something like that. So that, unfortunately, obviously we didn't come away with points, but I think there are some good things that come out of this here of being able to put a 2-point play on tape, and now you can work on that and as well as a wrinkle off of it, and you know what else did in that situation.
Gotcha. Okay. Anything else with the offense?
Not really. Just okay. It's unfortunate that Gill stepped out of bounds there at the end. Now, I kind of want to clarify that rule. So he gets pushed out, or he doesn't get pushed out. He gets pushed initially and then runs on his own accord. So if you run on your own accord out of bounds, you cannot be the first person to touch it after you reestablish yourself, regardless of how many feet you've got in. If a DB were to push Gil out of bounds, meaning forcibly remove him from the field of play, he can then come in and touch the ball, no problem. But the fact that he ran out on his own accord and then came in, it was a phenomenal catch. Like catch, turn, toe down, out of bounds, all of it. It was just unfortunate that he ran out prior to.
Well, because I was thinking of the play that you made at Iowa State where you were like out of bounds and then you like reestablished, which was like what, putting 2 feet back in the field of play?
Yeah.
Okay. And then Henry Kruger-Coble fumbled and then you picked it up and scored. And so I was referring to that and I was like, wait, he established himself back in bounds. Like, isn't he allowed to catch it? But apparently not. Well,
I was blocking somebody at the time when I got pushed out. Now, I don't know if I went out on my own accord. I'm not going to go back and look because I scored a touchdown.
Doesn't matter anymore.
Doesn't matter anymore. So that one, either A, the refs missed it, or B, I was blocking somebody and just the momentum of blocking them took me out of bounds. And then I was able to come in and obviously score.
Okay, yeah. Let's move on to defense. What do you got? They gave up a lot of yards in comparison to what that usually looks like for the Iowa defense.
That was about as bend, don't break as you can get.
Yeah. He used their head coach used the exact same verbiage that you had been using the entire time of like, typically, if an Iowa defense lets you go all the way down the field, you're going to stall out. He literally I think it was at halftime when he was talking to the sideline, she was like, oh, what's going on? You know, like you guys have had this many field goals in the first half. And he's like, yeah, we've just been getting down the field and then we just stall out. And I was like, there's really isn't a better way to explain it other than that. It was kind of crazy.
7 field goal attempts.
That's a lot.
He made 6.
I know.
Shout out. I mean, that you got to give credit where credit's due.
And you got it. Like his kick is very pretty. Don't you think? Like the way that his leg swings through. What?
Look at you getting technical. No, go.
It's not technical. It's just an observation of like, it just looked really nice. Like not to say that like, oh, Drew Stevens is ugly kick or whatever. Like not that I've ever noticed another kicker having like,
well, when he's out that often,
yeah,
you got to see him more. Yeah,
you can actually tell. Yeah, no, but I just thought like the first time he went out there, I was like, whoa, that looks so like fluid and like strong. I don't know. Do you think?
Yeah, 6 or 7. He doesn't have the leg that Drew Stevens has. No. Since we're talking about kicking,
crazy.
Drew Stevens, I know he missed the 58-yarder, but that would have been good from 65.
Crazy.
Like at least that was, and the announcer made it a point to say Drew Stevens put on 45 pounds of muscle so he could do this. And like, boom. Just unfortunately it was a little bit right, but that's a boom. I mean, that makes Drew Stevens a weapon moving forward too. Because like Marshall Kane is really the only other one that I know of that's had like that booming leg in recent memory. Now, granted, I played with Marshall, but like that's a weapon when you got somebody like that. Anyway, defensively, so bend don't break. They got down the field. It's unfortunate that it kind of seemed like we missed a couple tackles. We obviously missed one of our best players with Sebastian Castro out with the ankle. So Cohen Entringer goes in there, has a pick, and then he leaves. Had to go to locker room, sat out the rest of the game. On a side of the ball where there aren't that many question marks, it kind of seems like obviously injuries create that, you know, and that's unfortunate.
It was so weird to see like other jersey numbers out there. You were like, who is that?
Right.
Now who's in there? Right. Like it just felt like just felt weird. It felt different. It felt like there's something going on. You know what I mean? Like, and obviously I don't think anybody knew until like day of that Sebastian was going to be out. Had you seen anything?
I hadn't seen anything prior to, no.
And it was like just a minor ankle is what it sounded like. Yeah. Seeing him on the sideline, and I said this, I was like, that is not a college boy. That is a man. He just looks like a scary dude. Don't you think?
I don't want to call him scary.
Well, not like an intimidating.
But he's he was a very locked in individual when they.
I'm not saying he's scary. I'm just saying like an intimidating, like manly figure.
Definitely not a college kid.
No. That's an Iowa defense. That's an Iowa defense member. Just saying.
So obviously he goes down. That doesn't help. So now other guys have to kind of raise the bar on what they're going to do. Cohen Entringer goes in there, plays well. Got away with a little pass interference on one of the deep balls, but we'll take it. Does have the pick later on. We missed one with Quinn Schulte that I felt like would have been big there in the first quarter. It's unfortunate,
He was out for vengeance after that happened, though. I think he's pretty mad.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. But so then Lutmer comes in, TJ Hall gets pulled. And so John Nestor goes in there, which I don't think he's played necessarily with the ones that often this year. It's been either TJ Hall or Deshaun Lee. So now we got to button up who that guy is. I'll tell you what, though, he did really well initially. Like when he came in, they're going to pick on him. Because they're like, this guy, I haven't seen number 7. I'm going to throw, right? But he did pretty good. He made the very big tackle. It was a quick slant, and he tackled him like shoestring tackle. Doesn't matter. Tackle's a tackle. There's another one where they tried to isolate him, and he got his legs, but then the guy broke out of it. But it took him long enough that another 5 Iowa players came over to make the tackle. Mm-hmm. Did his job, Then obviously they started to pick on him a little bit more, but those reps are invaluable in that he's going to continue to grow.
I'm sorry to cut you off, but I thought that you were going to bring that up for an unsung hero moment, just because when the shoelace tackle, as you called it, just because I think initially you look at that and you're like, oh, a missed tackle. Oh, you get kind of like about it. But it's actually he did what he had at his disposal and then made the, what's the word I'm looking for?
He made the play without making the play.
I guess that's what I'm trying to say. But gave the ability to the other 5 guys to get there, gave them some time. Mm-hmm. That's what I was trying to say there.
Yeah, I mean, he could be. He's not, but he could be.
I know, but
I've got a different guy.
When it happened and you pointed it out, I was like, oh yeah, there you go. Because initially it looks like, but
right,
yeah, he made it happen.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, are you ready for your unsung hero or not quite yet?
Not quite yet, because we got to talk about special teams. We already talked about Drew Stevens. Mm-hmm. Reese Dakin.
Just doing the job.
I'm pretty sure the Michigan State dude fair caught it before the ball was even at the peak. Mm-hmm. He's feeling it right now.
Yeah. He looks so unassuming too. That's what I love about it. Cause he just kind of,
I love it.
That's just, he just goes out there and it's just he looks so relaxed. He looks so just here to do the thing. And then he does it and he just kind of gets out.
I mean, after we talked to him, that was coming off one of his not as great performances, right? And then his coming out party was Minnesota, or was it after Minnesota?
I don't know.
I'm blanking now, but now he's really strung together a lot of games here of he's legitimately flipping field position. There was the one that we got mad about on I think it bounced to the 3-yard line that went in.
Yeah, I was like, oh, somebody should have grabbed that. Not that, and then I said, not that it's easy, but
we're used to seeing Cooper do it.
We've
right?
also seen it done. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he did have a great game.
So that was really good. Caden Weegan seemed like he's got a few that are going. We're just waiting for him to actually go. You know what I mean? Yeah. By that, I feel like this unit is primed for a return touchdown. We're just waiting for it to happen.
Yeah. He's quick though. He's very fast.
Didn't get a punt return because they didn't punt all game.
We don't have to talk about that.
That's just wild to think about. Yeah, they kicked 7 field goals.
I know. Because they stalled out, Matt. I know.
It's crazy.
That was odd to see so many field goals.
I think that's the first time, you read me the stat. The first time somebody hadn't punted against Iowa.
Oh, yeah. I can't remember what.
Since 2013, Ohio State, my freshman year.
Yeah, exactly.
That's crazy. And we were up in that game against Ohio State.
Huh. Interesting. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. And that was a program record that I can't think of his first name, but Jonathan. That was a program record. I think he tied it at 5 and then beat it at 6. Yeah.
It's just wild.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's what I want to talk about with special teams though, is that Reese is really good. Drew's really good. We know what kind of leg he has now, which is awesome. And then obviously the return game, just waiting for one of those to break.
Yeah. Okay. Unsung hero, since I guessed it incorrectly.
Unsung hero, brought to you by JB Roofing, is Ethan Herkett.
Okay.
And both of us noticed this.
Yep.
It's not for any particular play.
Okay.
It wasn't like he just did one thing that was his job and that was it. It was every single play, whether it was a pass, whether it was a run, I swear every single play. And the camera only follows the ball, right? The camera
was there.
The camera doesn't follow everything. 49 would show up in the frame at the end of that play. Mm-hmm. Unbelievable. True. So that kind of determination, effort, that's what makes Iowa good, is when their defense gives that kind of effort. That allows that bend don't break. That allows that kind of stuff because your talent is going to be exponentially better because of the effort you bring. And whether you're chasing something down or whatever it is, always being in the frame, always being there to make the play. Like that's pretty cool. So for that effort that spanned not just one play, but for the full 60 minutes, Ethan Herkett, Unsung Hero, brought to you by JB Roofing.
I really like that one a lot. That's a really good one.
When you and I both noticed it wasn't just me.
No, it was literally every play would be like, there he is. Ethan Herkett. Oh,
it almost became a game to be like, is 49? Yep, there he is.
And then it became like kind of funny, like the best way. Like, he's there again. They're like 20 yards downfield.
On the other side.
Somehow he's still there.
Yes.
Yeah, that was crazy. Very cool to watch. All right, we're going to go into our interview with Brian Allen Jr., who is just a comedian. We hope you enjoy it. We'll be right back. Need a new roof, gutter, or siding in Eastern Iowa? Call JB Roofing and Construction, the local and reliable roofer with over 20 years of experience. They do one roof at a time, unlike others who juggle multiple projects and cut corners. They also serve a 45-mile radius around Kelowna and help you with any insurance claims. Don't wait. Call 319-656-ROOF or visit their website, jbroofingkelowna.com, for a free estimate. JB Roofing and Construction, the small town roofer you can trust. Matt, did you know that Iowa City Tire does more than just tires?
Well, yeah. I mean, they've been servicing vehicles in the corridor for like 40 years.
Right. But did you really know that before someone had to tell you?
No.
Check out how they're doing things in a very different way at Iowa City Tire and Service, where service actually comes first.
The Appliance Barn offers a wide range of high-quality appliances at unbeatable prices.
Whether you're in the market for a new refrigerator, dishwasher, or washing machine, they've got you covered.
They also have a delivery and setup department to ensure your appliances get delivered and installed quickly. To find out more, visit appliancebarn.com.
Well, Talkin Hawks fans, it's his first ever podcast appearance on any podcast ever, and of course on Talkin Hawks. Everyone please welcome Brian Allen Jr.
How y'all doing?
How's it going?
Very good, man.
Thanks for being here.
Of course.
You are like so relaxed.
I mean, what else am I supposed to be?
I mean, look how he's chilling right now on the couch. Like this is his first podcast, but
you
gotta
know
be
it.
comfortable.
Gotta act like you've been there before, right?
Exactly. That's what they tell you. Fake it till you make it, right?
That's it.
Fake it till you make it. Is that, you live your life by that?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But you know, in some instances, some circumstances, that's kind of what you gotta do.
It works. That makes sense.
Here
All right.
and there.
Well, Brian, I don't know if you've watched all of our episodes, right? Just leading up to this?
No.
Can you lie for the cameras?
Yes. That's my camera right there. I absolutely have. I'm an avid fan of Talkin Hawks, and it's my favorite pod. Subscribe.
Yes. Thank you.
Go.
Clip that.
It
Put it
Clip
everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we always like to start off just like talking about you kind of leading up to Iowa, like even just starting off like where you grew up, family, all of those types of things. So where are you from?
I'm from Lake in the Hills, Illinois.
Okay.
Wait, Lake in the Hills?
Lake in the Hills.
That's not a real name.
That's not the trenches. I tell you that. It's definitely not the trenches, but you know, Lake in the Hills, cool place. It's about like 40, 50 minutes northwest suburbs, Chicago.
Okay.
But you know, I grew up with my mom, my dad. I got an older brother, older sister. My older brother, he played football at University of Pennsylvania. Played there for 4 years. His story was kind of crazy when he got there. He started as a safety, like corner safety. Then they moved him to linebacker. Then they moved him to DN. And he like 6'1". He put on like 40 pounds when he got to college. And he was a running back in high school. And I'm pretty sure like he wanted to go to Northwestern as a PWO or whatever. My mom wasn't paying that money. So that was over with. He got an academic scholarship to UPenn. She said, go get this Ivy League degree.
Dang, yeah.
That's what he did. He got his Ivy League degree, played. I'm pretty sure he played 3 years. He had a lot of injuries going into his later years of college, but I love seeing him play. He had a good career, especially in high school. He was a dog. But I got my older sister too. It's my best friend. It's my dog. She played 4 years basketball at University of Holy Cross, and we actually played them in the NCAA tournament here in Carver. So that was crazy. I came right after practice to the game, sat there, watched her, cheered her on.
I feel like there was a story about that, right?
I think I remember seeing you there.
I was on ESPN. I got the TikTok clip saved on my phone forever. I was lit though. I'll never forget that because it's like, what are the odds that they make the tournament as such a small school, small program, and then they gonna come play Iowa. Of course, I go here, so it's like God did. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just a crazy coincidence. But she did her thing in that game too. She dropped 19. And yeah, shoot bully ball. Oh my God, bully ball. But and she got shot too. She was hitting some jumpers. Oh, I taught her everything she knows.
I was just gonna ask who taught who.
She know everything. She got her. I would say she got her aggressive nature on the court from hooping with me. I fouled the crap out of her. There we go. When we hoop outside, so that's why she don't hoop with me no more. We haven't played one-on-one since I was like 10, 11, 12 years old.
How much older is she than you? Just a couple years.
Year and a half. She's how old is she? Is she 22? I'm about to be 21. So she's 22 right now. She's about to turn 23 in June.
Gotcha.
Well, she's still young enough. Y'all could lace it up.
No. She's retired. She's done with basketball.
Oh, done.
Nah, after that last game at Iowa, you could just look on her face like she was done. Yeah. And it wasn't a frown. She was smiling. Yeah. She played her part. She got a few injuries playing basketball too. Knees, back, all that stuff. So when her time was done, she was done. Yeah. She did all she could. She was happy with her career. If she's happy with her career, I'm happy with her career.
That's awesome. Good deal. What are they doing now?
So my sister, she went to school to be she studied neuroscience at Holy Cross. Yeah. Big money. Big money. Yeah. So she's working in Houston right now at like some research. She worked with rats. Or mice. I should correct that, mice. Okay. And she sent us pictures like one of her mice just had babies. She sent us pictures. That was disgusting. I didn't care. But they put them through a whole bunch of tests. She get paid, so I ain't mad at her. Do what she gotta do. That's and then crazy. My brother, when he graduated college, he came back to his old high school where I was, became a math teacher, like right out of college because they was in need. So he came in, he filled that position. So he was my geometry teacher sophomore year.
Yo.
I swear. I remember I did like bad on an assignment and I came home and my brother, he was still living in the house with us, with me, my mom, and my sister. My mom came home, she saw the grade or whatever. She cussed my brother out talking about something. Talking about some. Why is your own brother failing the class? What are you doing? Yada, yada, yada. She got on me too. And probably even worse. But like, I was saying, my brother definitely told me like, yo, you're not about to mess around in my class and, not get your work done. So I sat front row, lunch, I was in his room.
So you're doing the Iowa way prior to Iowa, man.
What you mean Iowa way?
They tell you to sit in the front of the class, take notes, do everything. Yeah, it's the same thing.
Yeah. I guess I was ahead of my time. I was ahead of my time, but yeah, that's them. That's my brother and my sister. Love them to death. My Dukes, military, 20 years, police officer, 20 years. Oh, wow. So you can imagine growing up in that household. Ain't nothing flying. Yep. It's terrible.
So you really were the Iowa way before you got here.
I guess
like so. That's it. Right, strict, do it right.
Yeah. And my dad, he's a TV truck engineer. So his job's actually kind of cool. He works with like a whole bunch of different sports teams. He covers baseball, basketball, football. He be in the TV truck making sure like all the so like, for example, in baseball, when you see the strike zone and you see how fast the pitch was going and where the pitch went.
He's got all the analytics and stuff on it?
Like he's the one who's putting all that on the screen.
Dang.
So that's what he was doing before. And now he just manages the TV truck. So if anything goes wrong, it's on him to go fix it now. Okay. So he works some long hours, but he like his job, besides the hours. Come home, play the game. My dad been gaming for as long as I've born.
Really?
Call of Duty. Going crazy.
Really?
Yes.
You got the headset and everything?
Headset, everything. He be playing with his boy Corn Dog. What? Corn Dog got kids too. don't even know if my dad know what Corn Dog's name actually is. We know him as Corn Dog.
And they play together online.
Mm-hmm. My dad's best friend T playing the game to this day.
Seriously.
Call of Duty 6. I'm about to get it. I'm about to game with my dad.
That's incredible. Just his way to check out. Yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Are you a gamer?
No.
Really?
I got borderline anger management when it comes to video games.
That makes sense.
I'm the first one to throw a controller.
Hey, self-awareness is a big piece.
You're right.
You know what I mean?
You're right. And when I was younger, it was a lot worse. As I got older, it got better. Like my brother and sister always tell me a story when I was playing a game in my room and my old house. We had a long hallway upstairs. Mom's room's first room, sister's room, second room, my room's all the way down the hallway. And I got mad. I'm probably playing 2K17. Threw the controller all the way down the hallway, hit the wall, went into the basket, stomped down the hallway, grabbed my controller, got right back on the game. So I try to I'll play. Mm-hmm. I'll play for sure. But I'm trying to not get too deep into it.
Right. Not try too hard with it.
We used to play Madden a decent amount, and Damon Bullock, who was a running back, rest in peace, came over and played. We were playing Xbox One, and I 21'd him in the second quarter. Mm-hmm. And so I scored again to go up 28 to end it. And he's like, nobody's going to know about this game. Walked out, turned it off, set the controller down, and just walked out of my house.
You know what? And I be trying to do the same thing. I be playing my boy Caden. You know, he going to record the game. He going to send it to the group chat. Oh, I just 21 old BX. Are we serious, bro? We grown ass men, bro. We talking about something.
I love it.
He has, I don't even know if I want to say this. He has notes on his phone of every game we played.
Yo. Seriously?
Yes. All the games, teams,
Who is
scores.
This?
Caden Crawford. My old roommate, 522. And he loves showing people because I haven't beat him yet. No.
I mean,
it's my fault. It's 12-0.
I mean, if you owe for a lifetime, I'd let you know about it too.
Yeah. I would too. I'm on the same page. But when it's the other way around, bro, chill. Just chill, man.
So how'd you get to Iowa? What was your recruiting process like?
So,
because I saw your high school said Connecticut, but obviously that's Illinois.
So, I transferred midway through my junior year. There was a lot of things that went into that. COVID, not having football season.
COVID, I keep forgetting about that.
Yeah, and then at my old high school, there was some stuff going on that I really wasn't liking. And so I just wanted to get out of that environment entirely. So before I even wanted to go, Coach A, Ernest Anderson at STM, hit me on Twitter. He was like, come to the lake. So I'm like, all right. I was trying to go to IMG. I was looking at a whole bunch of other prep schools and stuff like that. You know, you got to do the application process, all that stuff. I was going to go to school in New Hampshire or some school there, IMG.
What's IMG?
STM.
What's that called?
It's pretty much just a sports school.
Is it in
Florida?
Is it in Florida?
Yeah.
I just was looking at this. That is the craziest thing.
It's so nice.
I was looking at their website. I don't know how I came across it. It's incredible. Oh, yeah. I totally would have gone there too.
We played them. So I got there the spring of my junior year. We beat the number 5 team in the nation, not flex. And then that fall we played IMG. We played them pretty good too. We went down to Florida. We stayed in the villas on campus. Oh, we were having the time. I'm not gonna lie. Before the game, we was having the time in the villas. It was cool.
Yeah,
but
it's crazy expensive.
Oh yeah, to go there.
Yeah,
that's why a lot of dudes just get on scholarship.
Unbelievable.
Because they give out scholarships to go to IMG.
Yeah, because
it's
maybe officially or unofficially, but I don't know. Because one of my boys go there, or he went to STM. I played with him in the spring. He ended up transferring to IMG that fall. And I don't think he was paying for school. I ain't trying out here none of his business, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's crazy. But that place is really nice. So you went to where?
So I went to Marion Central Catholic in Illinois first.
Okay.
Transferred to STM. STM was like a fever dream.
Really?
It's so crazy. So you got the basketball players. It's pretty much a basketball school, really. Andre Drummond went there.
Okay.
Gatorade Player of the Year. They actually had a few like NBA guys come through the school, and
got you.
They still got a lot of good basketball players. I'm pretty sure last year they just had a Gatorade Player of the Year come through there. But yeah, it's pretty much just like you got your basketball building. Pretty sure basketball stay with basketball, stay with baseball, downstairs and upstairs, and then you got your football dorm, and then I'm pretty sure it's like another dorm for just like foreign exchange students and whoever just decided to come to STM. I don't know why. You just decide to go there for no reason.
What does STM stand for?
St. Thomas More.
Okay.
Yeah. So I stayed in the building was called Kennedy, called a K block, K1, K2. So it was a time our coaches were our teachers. You know, my D-line coach, my math teacher, shout out Crowley, my dog. All them guys, man. But the lake it was definitely something serious. You had to be like, really be there for a reason. Cause like Wi-Fi cut off at 12. You got no service. You're in the middle of nowhere and you're on a lake. So like, if you want service, you got to walk outside. You got to walk down the dock to the lake, sit down and try to get a bar service. I'm sitting there trying to talk to college coaches. I'm like, I can't hear you. I'm trying to walk all around campus, get my 1 bar service just so I could get an offer or something.
Yo.
But
that's an oversight.
The food wasn't, it wasn't, amazing. It wasn't amazing. It was edible. It was edible for sure. They had a cereal bar, so that was lit.
Yo,
that was one of the better parts.
You too big to be going to a cereal bar, bro.
What? Cinnamon Toast Crunch? Oh my God, I got like 8 boxes of Cinnamon Toast Crunch lined up above my fridge. I swear to God.
I'm not telling KB that.
You don't got to. You know what I'm saying? But, I went to STM for the opportunity to play better competition, really. They sold me on that. We're going to play IMG and we're going to play St. Francis out of Baltimore. That was the number 5 ranked team that we beat. And I just wanted to play better people. I wanted to get out of the environment that I was in. And I thought that would just lead to better opportunities. So I wasn't totally opposed to it at first. And then I get to move away from home. So, I ain't in the house no more. Ain't no more do the dishes. Ain't no more clean your room. So, I wasn't mad at that either.
So did you get recruited prior to going out there?
I had 13 offers coming in.
Oh my.
Going into there. So I had like the most offers out of everybody on the team. But like, you're there to get recruited. Like, that's pretty much the whole point of going there. And I had like decent offers, they were smaller, which was like, that's cool. Free ride is a free ride. I ain't mad at it. But, I felt like I was capable of getting a lot more Power 5 offers, a lot more Power 5 looks. And I feel like playing that competition and like, one, it just boosted my confidence through the roof. Cause it was like, I'm going against, number 1 tackle, going to Bama or whatever. And I'm doing my thing. So it's like, that was definitely like, I belong. That was that moment. And I feel like in my recruiting process, that definitely helped.
Yeah. So what were the other Power 5 schools you had offers from other than Iowa?
Oh, that's a rough start.
Yeah.
It probably means there's a lot.
Man, I was bagged up back in the day. Nah, I'm playing. I had like Oregon, Iowa, West Virginia, Iowa State, Illinois, Purdue, a lot of Big Ten schools besides like the big ones like Ohio State, Michigan. I didn't get those.
Sure.
And then, I can't remember the rest of them off the top of my head, but I had a few. It wasn't too many, but I had a good amount.
Enough. We had plenty.
Anybody that's got more than 2 baffles me. I only have 1, and that was just Iowa. So anytime when you're like, I had 13.
Iowa too?
No, I'm from South Dakota.
Oh, that's
nobody recruits South Dakota, man.
That's even worse. What's it like growing up in South Dakota? What do you do for fun?
Yo, do
you like throw hay bales and?
I'm not a farmer.
Oh no,
I was in the city. I was in the city part.
No.
What city do they have in South Dakota?
Town. You can call it town. Shut up. Okay, so I graduated with 265.
Like that was your class?
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's over 1,000 in the high school. but it's also the second or third biggest in the state.
Okay.
So it's like relative.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I lived in town.
Okay.
So it's not like we would normally just like drive around.
So that was what y'all did before.
Driver, yeah. You'd be like, hey, you want to drive around?
So my boy Kale, we went to his house because we were taking a trip to Colorado. He lives in Indianola. And we driving through and he's like, this is the town. They had like a gas station, a Walmart. It might not even had a Walmart.
We didn't have a Walmart.
It was
we had Jubilee or whatever it was.
Some random stuff like that. But like, he was like, this is the town. And then we kept going for a little bit. We turned onto a gravel road. I said, yo, where are we going? I ain't never been on a gravel road before. Like, what are we on a gravel road for? Who don't pave their roads? But I guess that's the thing here.
Yeah.
Totally.
That's
it's just like, this is a whole different experience.
Yeah.
Culture shock maybe, but
right.
Cool.
I mean, yeah, I guess there was a buddy of mine that he was a big time hunter. So like we go out to his place, which is in the middle of nowhere, and line up a bunch of tin cans. And you can just shoot whatever you want and that kind of thing. My
boy Caden, he took me shooting. That was fun. Because I'm not into guns like that, Mm-hmm. He loved his guns and all that. He took me shooting.
How'd you do?
I like the sniper. Sniper's easiest. It looked like he had like a whole Call of Duty AR, scope, beam, all that. I like that one too. But like the pistol's too hard to shoot. So like, you know how you got the little metal target and it ding when you hit it? I got one ding out of 2 clips. Like,
what was that, 26 shots or 13 to a clip?
I don't know. I'm
going to say it's a lot.
I don't know guns like that, but I was firing them off and I was hitting nothing.
Oh, that's great. What'd you do in Colorado? Why'd you guys go there?
Oh, just a little guys trip. It was cool. We drove there. It was that whole trip was crazy. So as soon as we leave Iowa City, we drive into Indianola. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. A hailstorm comes.
Oh no.
We're driving. Pink. I'm in the back seat. Pink. There's a softball size ice.
Yo.
In the windshield. Kale Cohen got glass all on their lap.
Oh no.
It shattered it.
Nah, it didn't completely shatter, but like it caved in a little bit. So that was kind of crazy. I'm in the backseat chilling. I didn't know what was happening.
Oh my gosh.
Then we pulled over for a little bit. He called his mom or whatever. I don't even know how we finished the rest of the drive, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like we got another car or something, but we made it. We made it there.
What kind of car were you sitting in that you fit in the back seat?
Oh, it wasn't a big one. He had like,
he just made it comfortable.
He had
for
this
yourself.
he had this old little blue Honda. It kind of looked like a Hot Wheels car. It really do. It kind of looked like,
back there like this.
Yeah, we had all our bags and stuff too. I was cooped up back there, but I was chilling.
Yeah.
And then all that stuff happened. I was like, oh my God. And then, so we go to Colorado, right? Me and Kale switching off driving. It was like 13 hours, whatever. Mm-hmm. Colorado's cool. We get there, we got B&B. It's like this little cabin in the mountains. It was nice. They had a sauna out the back.
Jeez.
They had a little fire pit. It was cool. So.
You know how to make a fire?
No. You push the button.
Like that.
Actually, matter of fact, I do though, because we had a fireplace in the house.
Okay.
My dad, former Boy Scout.
So it was a wood burning fireplace.
Yeah. So we'll get the logs of wood. Get that little Trader Joe's bag paper, rip it up, light it, and we was good.
So did you have to chop down wood and everything too?
Oh no, they had it for us. Manual labor is not for me. It is not for me. Not like that. Chopping trees is crazy. But we went whitewater rafting there. We went that was cool too. It started hailing during that too.
Seriously?
Dinking on our helmets. It was crazy.
Oh my
and another
gosh.
group that was with us fell off the boat. Stopped everybody. He couldn't get back up.
No way.
Yeah, we were just looking at bro like, man, that was crazy. He signed his waiver though.
Oh my gosh.
Good. But that was fun. That was an experience. We went hiking or walked up a mountain or something. That was cool.
That's the same thing.
That was cool.
Mm-hmm.
But like during our last few days there, it was like nice, sunny, green grass, and then snowed like 2 feet.
When did you go?
What is this weather?
Yo.
Like,
It's Colorado. I don't know. Like, we was in the mountains for real. Like, it was crazy.
yeah.
So we went not this past summer, but I'm pretty sure the summer before.
So after your freshman year, your true freshman year.
Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah,
Okay.
So it was a cool trip.
You didn't get altitude sickness or anything?
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What happens? You get like stomach?
It's like a flu. It's like a really bad flu. It's the craziest thing.
You can't get rid of.
Unless you like go
Unless
down.
you go back down because you're too high.
Oh,
I don't know what it is, like the reaction in your body or something, like less oxygen or something.
Well, I gave
like
blood like the day before.
Well, you got it before?
Yeah, it was
Dang.
really.
I went with her on a work trip. She had a model for a boutique.
And he was supposed to be taking care of the kid and like being like a helper.
Oh, y'all got a kid?
Yeah,
we had two.
Okay.
Dax at the time was even one.
No. And he was supposed to be like the caretaker of the kid while I was, working
Dax is
and
a
whatever.
fire name too.
Is he like that?
Thank you.
You're good.
No doubt.
And then he got super sick. So then I was taking care of him.
Well, hold on.
Yeah.
So we went up to the place where they were supposed to do most of the shooting,
Mhm.
and then like
She
I
got
couldn't.
the story wrong.
Like I couldn't move.
No.
Like I was so sick, I couldn't move, and I was like, I got to go back down. Like I can't do it. And
So you knew automatically, like,
it probably took
altitude sickness, I'm messed up.
Mhm.
it probably took a half hour,
Yeah.
something like that. And then we drove back down. We had to stay at a separate hotel that was down around the city,
Mhm.
just so I wouldn't throw up. And as soon as we hit like some threshold, I was like, hey, I'm cool now.
Yeah.
Just
She
like
could have
that.
killed me just right there.
He's in the back seat, like barely alive. And then all of a sudden he goes, actually, I think I'm fine.
That's crazy.
I'll kill you.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
But-
that was an experience. All kinds of experiences in Colorado. That's cool
Yeah.
though. Who all did you go with?
It was just me, Kale, and Cohen.
Okay.
Yeah, it was
Cohen
dope.
Entringer?
Yeah. Kale Claire, Cohen Entringer.
Gotcha.
It was a dope trip though.
That's awesome. I was going to go back just a little bit. What sports did you play other than football? Like growing up?
Just basketball and baseball.
Okay.
But-
Baseball.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What position?
Third base, first base, center field.
Dang.
So
Third base, you got to have an arm.
yeah. I could get it there for sure. Now the placement of where the ball gonna be is
Fair.
here at Northwestern. So
Yeah.
that's why I got moved to first base. Now I got dudes throwing me lollipops and I'm trying to reach out and I can't do the splits. Like I'm not doing all that. So if I gotta field the ball like a ground ball and I ain't have a first base glove. Cause my mom ain't buying me all that. I got a glove already. That glove gonna have to work. And it was a softball glove. So what are we even talking about? So I mean, I made it work. I played catcher too. My knees hurted.
Right.
I played for
Yeah, you too big to be a catcher, man.
I played for like a game. That was it. I didn't want to play no more. But I felt like catching was fun.
Yeah.
You put all the gear on. You just get to chill and
You're just playing catch for the next 10 minutes until the next inning.
Mm-hmm.
Besides, like 4 dudes got hit, so I'm just sitting there. But like, I ain't never played like no like real competitive baseball. I just played like, you got the little neighborhood league or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I was on like the Cubs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I ain't never played beyond that.
You talk smack when you're the catcher?
Who?
Like if somebody steps into the batter's box, are you talking smack like while you're waiting for the pitch? You're just too focused?
I'm just waiting till I get to hit again.
Hanging out.
And it wasn't even like I was good at hitting either. Like I couldn't hit the ball. Like, but if I did hit the ball, that joint was gone. If I like really like cracked that joint, it was gone. But the problem was just getting contact. My coach always told me, just get contact. The ball gonna go somewhere, just get contact.
But you're too busy hitting home runs.
I'm swinging for the fences every time. You might as well. It's little league, neighborhood baseball.
No, that's
Right.
real.
But hoops too. I played basketball all throughout middle school, and then my freshman year of high school, probably averaged like 10 rebounds with like 2 points. But like, I did my job.
How many
though.
fouls though?
I'm not a big fouler like that.
Really?
You know what I mean? When I'm
Okay.
playing my sister, I'm hacking. I'm hacking because we gotta toughen her up.
Uh-huh.
But like real basketball, I'm trying to block shots.
Okay.
But like if I get a foul,
Mhm.
it is what it is. I ain't tripping.
So if you went down to the rec, are you running it?
Yeah, we play. We play on the off season all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, are you a good player? Or are you a role guy?
No, hold on. Because we have this debate all the time. I be like a 6 man. I ain't starting.
Okay.
We got guys who can start. But like when you need that energizer bunny to come off the bench and play some good defense,
it's you.
Might get a corner three. Corner three's my spot. It's like Hall of Fame corner three. I'm trying to tell them they don't believe me.
You Ray Allen in the finals? Kick out three?
Come on. Come on.
No.
I needed the back pedal and everything.
No.
But
who's the starting five then?
all right. This year or
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we can just go off this year. Is Jay in the starting five?
maybe.
Go ahead. You can share.
I think I've told this story to everybody that comes on here and talks about basketball, but Jay told us he's the LeBron of the team.
I more play like LeBron. But he got his Bron in him too, because he's a little stocky mug. So he put his shoulder in me, you know what I'm saying? Try to get a
He's not shying away from contact.
Nah, he love it. You know, his arms like 26 inches around. So he's about to put a shoulder into me. So I guess he kind of played like Bron in that sense.
Okay.
But if you I'm more of a Bron than he would ever be a Bron. I'm Bron in the Miami Heat. He's Bron in like 8th grade.
Everybody.
But if we had a starting five though, I'll say, all right, let's go last year because I want to put Coop in there.
Okay.
All right.
You got Coop at the 1.
Oh, he's point.
Yeah, Coop's at the 1.
Okay.
Probably got Jay at the 3.
Okay.
Craig at the 4. Lachey at the 5. The 2 spot's tough because TJ could shoot, but he just only shoot. He loves shooting.
TJ
Hall.
Okay.
TJ Hall. Bean can play too. Bean can get a bucket. No, Dev Hilson. I'm tripping. Devin Hilson. That's our 2 guard. Because he really get a bucket.
He lengthy?
Not too much, but that step back. That step back's lethal.
Really?
Dude, I found a way to lock it up though. I be telling them too. I'm the only player who really could lock them up. I lock them up in the gym. I locked them up at KF House. We really play. And Dev like a real baller. He'll go to the gym, the rec on his own time and just go hoop just for the love of hooping. So he's definitely a baller for sure. I'm locking that up though.
That's
so
good.
you 6 man, who you taking out for you to go in?
Craig. I'm in. I'm taking Craig out. I'm taking Lachey out.
Okay.
You know, I'm gonna go down there. I'm gonna do my job. I'm gonna get a few rebounds, get a few fouls, transition, catch you down low. I'll get a layup for you.
Uh-huh.
I ain't gonna cap and say I'm gonna jam it, but I'm gonna try to. I really just started like really flushing, dunking when I got here.
Well, yeah, you started putting on some weight, add some muscle.
Yeah. That definitely helped.
Yeah.
Got the bunnies up a little bit. Even though I had a higher vertical in high school, I jumped like 35
how'd you test on? What'd you test in high school?
The one that you touch.
Like the Vertimax?
No, not the pad.
It was the Vertec, like the actual metal thing.
You swipe the little drawings. Yeah, so I definitely got higher on that one, which I feel like it's easier because you actually got like something to reach for. So yeah, it definitely made me look good. I'll hold that 35 and a half to the day I die. But right now, I don't want to disclose my vert right now, but it ain't 35 and a half.
Hey, it's not pro day yet. You got time.
Exactly.
You got time.
A little bit of time.
That makes sense. Okay. So then you stopped playing basketball once you got to your freshman year of high school, you said?
After freshman year, I was done. I just locked in on football.
Just all football.
Yeah. But basketball is like the sport that I love the most. Like I love hooping. I'm just better at football. I've always had a football body. Like my parents would tell me all the time that I always play football on the court when I'm trying to play basketball, which is like, it ain't my fault. If you're small, then that's your fault. But like, or if I'm moving you out the way, then you need to get in the weight room. It ain't my problem. But I mean, like we're in 5th grade, so. And I'm just bigger than everybody else size-wise. Sure. So.
Is that how you were all growing up? Just bigger than everybody in your class?
Pretty much.
Yeah. And you're taller than your brother?
Yeah,
you said he's
tallest
6'1"?
in the family.
Really?
The second tallest is my mom.
So you're the youngest?
Yeah.
And are you like typical youngest child?
It depends on who you ask.
Okay.
Depends on who you ask.
What do you mean by that?
Like, my brother would definitely say like me and my sister got it easier. But I was like the worst child. So like, I got more whoopings than everybody. I got in trouble more than everybody. I had to bite the bullet more than everybody when it came to school. And it's like, I'm not a bad kid.
What are you majoring in?
Journalism, mass communications.
What do you want to do?
You know what I'm saying? This is kind of like right in my wheelhouse. I'm trying to get into sports broadcasting.
Cool.
That's what I want to do. Like, I would say like my biggest inspiration is like Stephen A. Not from like,
you're just gonna yell at everybody?
Nah, not even like the antics or none of the wild takes or whatever, but just like how his voice commands a room. And when he speaks, like people listen. Like his opinion or his voice is valued, and I guess in that way. So like I feel like that's kind of like something that I got into.
So when you think sports broadcaster, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but when you say sports broadcaster, you mean like a show versus like a commentator kind of thing? Not like a live game, but like a show.
More so like pre-game, post-game, you know, something like that. But I'm also interested in the behind-the-scenes stuff. So, you know, I'm taking like classes for behind-the-scenes stuff, design and production. So, because like that's kind of what my dad's into, like production kind of stuff. So it's like
it all makes sense.
You know, whenever my career is done, hopefully I could just flow into the broadcast scene or
have a Tom Brady kind of thing.
Exactly like Tom Brady. 6 bowls, everything. Like I need it all. But that's exactly what I'm trying to do. And you know, I got the design and production in my back pocket. That don't work out. Finna lace up them boots like my mom did and go to the military. I'm not the real military. I ain't doing all that. But like air traffic control. That's what she did for the Navy. She was on the big boat doing air traffic control. So that's something that I want to do. And we had some like career day in the facility. They had some Air Force people there, and I was talking to them just about like doing air traffic control. So
dang,
that's cool. So you're very inspired by your parents. That's what it sounds like.
I mean, I never admit it, but you know,
I say he don't want to give them credit.
I never admit it, but you know, they definitely. I say in retrospect, they did their thing.
Yeah,
I don't agree with all their decisions, but you know. They did all right. They raised 3 good kids. They ain't never had to pay for college. So I'm looking at it from their point of view. They did all right. They did all right.
A win.
As a parent myself, I'm looking at that point of view, and I'm like, yeah, I could take some tips, some advice from them. Very cool. So your dream is to play in the NFL, and then go on to all the other things.
I will say one of the main things that I saw about you when you played. So I think it was Troy. You got in, got a sack. And you spazzed out. Like you went like full, like Aaron Graves, kind of like super flex, everything like that. It's kind of cool to like see guys play with that kind of passion. Yeah. I feel like defense, you guys, and normally I pull up Aaron Graves because every sack he has, everybody knows that he just got a sack. Like, is there kind of like a more passion on the D line? Like you got those kind of guys to look up to? Like, what do you think it is?
I feel like that's just how I always play. I feel like you can't play defense without having like a internal fire within you. And it's like, for Troy, for example, you know, KF was talking about like how, like, or it might not have been Troy, it might have been Minnesota, but even still, the energy was just down. Like, I felt like the energy was down in the stadium. I felt like the energy was down with the team. So when you make a play like that, you kind of want to just like get the stadium pulse going. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you just want to get everybody fired up and get ready to like get this next stop and get off the field. And then I feel like that'll carry over into the offense. And then we could really get rolling. But I feel like it starts with energy. And you gotta have it. And I'm not a starter. So it's like when I come in and
You're the 6th man?
I'm the 6th man. And when I come in and make an impact, it needs to be felt. And that energy needs to carry over hopefully throughout the rest of the game. But I feel like I've always played like that. At STM, so we got dudes from all over the country. We had dudes from Cali, PA, DC, all that. And they would call it perp. Like you got perp after a play. Like you gotta pop, you know what I'm saying? You gotta pop your stuff. So cause you work all off season, you work all during the season practice for one opportunity to make your play. And you did it. You know, it's time to celebrate. Like, and especially like I feel like at the college level, you know, not everybody makes it to the league. Right. So really, this is our NFL. And if you treat it like that, you should have much fun as you possibly can while you're playing in front of 70,000 and you know what I'm saying?
That's good perspective.
Prime time football. So why not have a good time?
I mean, did you say that to KF when Dayton Howard got his penalty?
Nope. But I felt him know. I felt him know, because if I would have scored it, I probably shouldn't say this. If I score a touchdown, I'm dunking it. I'm dunking it. Throw the flag. I don't care. I'm dunking it. There's no reason I should be scoring a touchdown.
Yeah.
Like, I scored one touchdown my whole life. And it's like, if I score one now,
we're going to know about it.
If I get a pick six, ooh. I get a pick six, boy. Oh, I'm dunking that shot. I swear to God.
You need like a Parker Hesse 2015. Just tip it to yourself on a screen pass.
Yeah, something like that. Mm-hmm. Something like that. I like you. So Ohio State got a DN, and like last year or 2 years ago or something, he had 2 picks against Penn State, just jumping up, catching the ball. I'm like, that's a play right there.
Hey, that RPO stuff, like, because he's reading right over top. He's reading the backer. He's not reading you. In high school, we actually threw a pick on an RPO. We were reading a backside glance, and DN just popped up, made the play.
Caught the ball.
Made the play.
Yeah.
He didn't score. He didn't run like you. But
no, I need a score. It depends on how far we are away from the end zone to where I know I'm going to score or not. Inside the 50.
You can go 50.
Yeah, inside the 50, I'm going to score. Right. I believe I'm going to score. I need one block. Just give me a block, because you know that running back coming. So
true.
I need just one block, and I'm going to go.
I mean, on Jamar Harris pick 6, Nick Jackson had 2 blocks, so he's probably the dude.
Yeah. Crazy on that play. I thought I heard a whistle. I thought the play was dead, so I'm coming out of my stance all slow. I'm looking around like, yo, y'all ain't just blow this play dead. J-Mar get a pick. I'm like, oh, I gotta go block somebody. I ain't touch a single soul. And he got into the end zone.
They call you out on film? You got the laser pointer circle?
Oh, no. Not in front of everybody in the D-line room, no. Because I came off the sideline. I was like, did y'all hear a whistle? No, we heard a whistle. I swear to God, I heard a whistle. But I guess not.
So you're just out there looking.
Yeah. Looking around, like, coming out my sense. Like,
now I gotta go back and rewatch it.
I'm like, yo, what are we doing? But he got there though, so I'm happy for him.
That's all that matters.
I'm just glad it wasn't my guy who made the play.
It's true.
You know what I find interesting when we were talking about like chopping wood and things like that? Like you were like, yeah, I don't do like manual labor, like all that kind of stuff. That doesn't really like interest me. But when you talk about football, like you're all in all the time. Like this is not an easy job that you're doing. So what is it about football that like lights that fire in you that maybe chopping wood or that kind of stuff like just doesn't do for you?
I feel like growing up, I always saw the opportunity with football because since I was always one of the better players from like size, speed, strength, it was always first like, I'm not getting into college because of grades. So I got to be good at football. So got to be good at football. Now I'm going to work for it. And I feel like just doing that started to build like the callus of, you got to work for what you get. And I feel like that's what's got me to this point. And the only way I know how to get better is just to keep on working. So, but I feel like that definitely stemmed from like being one of the better players and knowing the opportunity that I have with this game. So I'm just want to run this train till the wheels fall off. And when the wheels fall off, hopefully I can look back and be like, I'm proud of my career for all the work that I put in, hopefully all the things I've achieved.
Yeah.
Well, and not only just that, but like the man you become across.
Exactly.
Through the process. Like it sounds like obviously you had, I'm just going to use the word strict for lack of a better term, strict between your parents, right? But then that's like, I noticed I was a completely different person after leaving the Iowa program. And how it's helped me become a better man. Like, so I'm a real estate agent now. Obviously, we do this podcast and do a couple other things on the side. But like how I'm able to do that and have to. I got 2 young kids. So like with that, being able to take care of family, being a better husband, father, son, like all that kind of stuff, I feel like came along with it. But it wouldn't have happened without football and basically the lessons I learned from that.
For sure. And I feel like even just like through my almost 4 years in the program, like I've definitely grown a lot in the sense that like even when I was coming down to the final 2, it was Oregon and Iowa. And I was like, well, really, the Oregon coaches left. They went to Miami. Miami was waiting for whatever, didn't throw me the offer. But I felt like if I went to Iowa, then they'll get me on the straight and narrow. because that's all this program is straight and narrow.
Mm-hmm.
And coming for somebody who was irresponsible, lazy, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like they'll beat that out of you quickly, real quickly. And if they don't, you know, you're gonna be in a position like me where I'm not playing as a sophomore when I felt like I was fully capable, but fully capable physically, mentally, not so much. And like our coaches talk about it all the time, like if the locker room's dirty and your shirt's not tucked in, that all leads to performance. And I feel like in some ways they're right. Like for me coming in here, I was a habitual late guy. Like
and you're still on the team.
Huh?
I said, and you're still on the team.
Yeah. Somehow I found a way. Somehow I found a way. Like I early enrolled, my first team meeting ever, I was late to. I have the video saved on my phone. I was late 15 minutes, sitting there dead cold, ski mask on, walking to the facility because I don't got a moped. I'm walking from Peterson to the facility, talking to my phone like, how it's the first day and I'm already late. So that set a bad track for like the rest of my freshman year.
How bad do you feel when you walked into that team meeting? Everybody just...
Yeah, one of them. It was my first one out of like maybe 3. So it's never a good feeling, but you know, you just scurry on to your seat fast as possible, scoom, sit down, and just act like nothing happened. Just listen to whatever KF guys say.
First ever.
So it's definitely been a journey. It's definitely been a journey for me to get here. But I feel like the program has done what I thought it was going to do for me, which was get me on that right path of responsibility and accountability and all that kind of stuff.
Isn't that so refreshing to hear?
Yes. 100%.
Like based on how everybody's like chasing money between NIL and stuff like that to choose a program based on the man you hope to become at the end of it. I just feel like you don't hear that often.
Yeah. And I feel like my experience, like I can really share to a lot of our young guys because, you know, we still got Hawkeye Championship.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, you got some habitual missers on there, too, who are...
When your name's up there and it's just red, you know you're one of the last picks.
Not when you see or, you know, the board in the hallway where they got the misses at minus 500 points. So it's just like, now I've been through that experience and I've grown through it, it's like, now I can reflect and talk to young guys, like, don't be me. Or like, don't do what I used to do. Because especially when you're fully capable of helping the team and coaches see that, but you can't act right, then it's like you're setting yourself up for failure. So I feel like I can really, especially when it's Hawkeye Championship time, like I could spread that message to our young guys. So hopefully it clicks for them faster than it clicked for me.
Well, with that, one of the coaching things that I ever heard, or one of the best coaching things I had heard was, it's not bad when coaches are talking to you through that. It's bad when coaches don't talk to you through that. Like that's when you know it's like, well, we tried. Like, I don't know what else.
That's definitely how it is. Thank God I never got to that point, but I definitely had like a few sit downs with KB talking about like what's going on. And I feel like KF too. And it's like, when you're talking to your position coach, now that I'm looking at it, I was definitely not thinking this freshman year, but like when you're talking to your position coach and you're talking to your head coach about nothing about football, because football's good. Like you're doing your thing on the field, but as soon as you leave this building, it's like night and day. So I feel like just going through that whole process and growing from that, just like, is definitely going to benefit. It definitely benefited now. And like it'll benefit later.
Especially when you're that guy in a year or two on the field on every Saturday, starting, getting those reps. Like already getting a couple sacks coming off the bench as a 6th man. Like you stay on this path, what do the next 2 years look like? But if you stay focused on that, that's all you need. Man, I feel like I'm still in the building.
Yeah, it never leaves. It never leaves. Was there somebody that you kind of looked up to on the team, or a few people like your freshman, sophomore year, that maybe kind of helped you pull out of that like mentality that you were in there before you kind of turned it around? Or
I wouldn't necessarily say that, but you know, you definitely got your vets that are trying to help you out. Like Craig and YA were definitely good vets for me when I first got here. Just like, you know, not being like a real social butterfly, like just trying to like break me out of my shell, come to the crib and chill, play the game, go to YA's, play board games or something, like, you know what I'm saying? Just stuff like that, and like getting more integrated with the team. I kind of felt like you kind of like feel the responsibility now of being there because everybody else showing up and I'm not showing up. So it's like, now you got to be there. And it's the same thing on the field. Like you compete for the man next to you, not so I could get a sack. You know what I mean? If it happens, great. But like you do it for everybody else.
Right.
And I feel like, or like even like Joe Ev, like he brought me along too. So there's definitely a few guys who done help me out.
That's really cool. What kind of board games did you guys play?
Catan.
What's that?
It's like,
do you know what it is?
No, I don't.
So we play with YA, and before I even get into Catan, YA cheats in everything. He cheats at every game.
Okay.
Every game. He has fixed dice. The cards are wrong. We play card games. I don't know how he do it. I shuffle. My sister shuffle. Somehow he win. It don't make sense. But we play this game called Catan. You get like, it's like a whole board with resources and stuff. You put the numbers down. You try to roll the number and you get your resources and you could build roads and towns or cities, whatever, all that stuff. But like,
sounds like a long game.
Oh, it is. It's it's definitely a long game, but I'm yet to win. So
that's because you're not cheating. Just playing right.
My point exactly. He has like 20 wins maybe. And he has a whole record on his notes too of everybody he done played with, how many wins everybody got. Drew Campbell got a win before I got a win. Like, I don't know how that happens. I done played like 4-5 times.
Right.
And he gonna win the second time he play. Why just let him win? Because, you know, young guy. Got to get him integrated or whatever. He ain't do that for me. But we
you might have showed up late, but you weren't cheating.
See? But we be playing marbles too. It's like his whole board with spaces or whatever. You got to get your guy home. He'll call out his number. 10. Bam. 10. Now he send me back and he move up. We bowling? Oh my God.
How you cheat at we bowling?
Bro, he will walk away and he'll look at me and just go, strike. 100 pins, strike. Like, what? Like, he sit there and practice the game. Who practices Wii bowling? Out of all the games you could really get good at, like Wii bowling, like he's a sweat. It's crazy. It really don't make no sense.
But think about the psychological torment he's put you through for Wii bowling.
All the time.
He had it set up.
All the time. Me, him, and Caden will be there. He'll be like, Caden, look at me. Bam. Strike. Just like that. I'm sitting there. I don't want to play no more. What are we doing? I don't want to play no more.
Your anger management doesn't come out in those?
No.
Okay.
No, it definitely. You know what I mean?
You can pull it in. I get it. It's not worth it at that point.
Definitely. You know.
We need to get YA on and talk about that.
I know. We got to.
I'll definitely do. That's a character right there.
Yeah. Play some Wii bowling in
there. He scares me that he doesn't wear gloves.
Really?
He and Jennings both.
That's insane. Because last Friday I jammed my finger because I didn't wear gloves. And that's the only reason I'm convinced I jammed my finger, because I didn't wear gloves. And I'm like, I always wear my gloves, but this time I didn't. And the one time I don't have them in my pockets. Like, why? Got my gloves in my pockets for what? Because I ain't had time to put them on after stretch.
And you got out there like...
No. I'm better. I was getting taped. It was time to stretch. I'm like, throw the gloves in the pocket. And then, you be seeing why Max don't like wearing gloves either sometimes. So it's like, you know what? Let me just, you know what I'm saying, really get my fingers in the dirt. You know what I'm saying? No, it's not good. I don't like it.
There's something scary about him, man.
Yes.
Joe Evans, same thing.
Like,
Dallas Clark, same thing.
It. I don't know how you catch a football with no gloves either.
Josh Jackson used to do that. He did the whole tape.
Yeah, that's fire though. That's fire. That's why
he picked and he would pick and choose when he would do it though. He didn't do it all the time.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna rock out with the little knuckle tape for a game.
We got to do the buddy tape now. You jammed your stuff.
Oh yeah, that's what I was rocking last game.
Oh, I can see it. Is it your ring finger on that side?
Yeah, you see how fat it is?
Ouch.
Yeah. It was bigger too. It came down some. No treatment, all that 2 days. Come on.
You got the wax? You do the wax?
The what?
The wax? The heated wax there? You put your hand in there and then it...
Oh, they ain't never did that for me. I'm about to go tell Cammy though. Because what?
Who else is still in there? Cammy?
The staff done changed up a lot since I got there. The only person who's been there the whole time is Cammy. Mm. So right now we got Cammy, Dylan, Hero, and Jason.
No, I don't know the last 3.
Yeah.
Was Tony Berger there at all?
Tony was there my freshman year.
Yeah, Tony's a good dude.
Yeah.
He's over at Sports Med now.
Yeah, I'll be seeing them. Tony was there.
Cole Reese?
Cole left like last year or something.
I said he's like real doctor now or something, right?
Mm-hmm. But there was this other girl who worked at Sports Med too. I'll be seeing her sometimes.
Okay. Cole's wife works at Sports Med.
Really? You know when you like forget someone's name, but you know them?
Mm-hmm.
So
that's me all the time, man.
So you just gotta say, what up, bro?
Yeah.
And I ain't about to ask you for your name again.
It's too late.
But I'm gonna act like I know you.
Yes.
So it's just like, my man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like I knew you forever, but I ain't gonna say your name. Just,
that
bro,
makes sense.
My dog.
Okay, so aside from getting together with your guys, playing board games, that kind of stuff, what are some other hobbies that you like to do? How do you like fill your time? You said you listen to a lot of podcasts.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you listen to?
I like funny podcasts.
Do you listen to Theo Von?
No.
Okay. Jay really likes Theo Von, he said.
Theo Von?
Mm-hmm.
Nah, he funny though, for sure.
In the weirdest way.
Jay said that he was going to work the mic and do everything like Theo Von.
How would he even do that?
Well, like he just, you just got to get into it, like as you talk and make it seem more authentic.
Okay.
But
nah, not for me. But I like, there's this podcast with Jeff Teague called Club 520. I like that. They funny on there.
Okay.
Jeff Teague was an NBA player.
Okay.
You ain't know that? That's okay. We don't got to get into it. I would watch Gilbert Arenas, another NBA basketball player.
Okay.
Agent Zero.
Okay.
That's funny.
He played for a long time.
Okay. Who else? Flagrant and with Andrew Schultz and it's called Brilliant Idiots. They got Andrew Schultz and Charlamagne God.
Oh, I haven't seen that
clowning on there. That'd be funny too. So I really just be watching them. That's pretty much how I fill my time. I'll turn on a podcast and I'll get on the game and just wait till we got whatever's next. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What are you taking for classes right now? Because I also majored in journalism and mass communication.
Okay.
So what do you got right now?
Taking photography, big money sports and college tradition.
Okay.
Something like that. I got a cool professor in that class. The rest of my classes are online. I'm taking Latin American studies, leadership, and was writing something. Professional writing and communication. Okay. Something like that.
You just pull something out.
Yeah.
It's hard for no reason. I don't get it. But
you already got your rhetoric done. You got,
all that good stuff. It's kind of nice, the journalism degree. Like a lot of your finals are like projects or papers and stuff like that. It's not so much like a test.
Yeah, but I don't like writing papers.
You don't? Oh.
I hate it, which is like, it's like, how you going to do journalism and you don't like writing papers? Like,
I don't write papers anymore. And I'm in journalism, technically.
So I'm trying to get to where you at.
There's hope.
But right now, there's hope. Like I just had a 3 to 5 page paper. And I'm like, man, I don't know how we gonna get this done. We gonna have to find a way though. Let me go ahead and hit the writing center or something. Just get some good ideas and go and type it all up.
So you've been at Jardine for a minute then?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I just graduated hours. And you don't understand like the feeling of happiness when you don't have to go there anymore.
I mean, I did it for my first semester and then I was out.
You only had the 4? I started with the 4, right? I was like, cool, 4 hours. 2 days, 3 days maybe in Jardine. Then they bumped me to 6. Now 6 is
when you get the bump.
No, the 6 is a whole new world.
I mean, we started with 8.
Who started with 8?
We did.
You had 8 hours?
Your freshman year, every freshman, 8 hours. And then I had
OD.
above a 3 GPA. I think I had a 3.5 GPA that first semester.
That's what got me. I got that 3.0.
Hey,
I got that
there you go.
3.0. So, that was definitely a blessed moment. That's progression right there. But yeah, I love the people at Jardine. So Bruno's my guy.
You work with Mel?
Advisor. Nah, I got Bruno. Peggy just left. Was Peggy there when you was there?
I don't remember.
That's the little front desk lady. But apparently
I only went there for 1 year, dude, and then I was completely out of the Jardine. I never went back.
See, me and Peggy done built a relationship. Like, I see her damn near every day.
Well, you had said something at the very beginning, and it was when your sister was playing here with Holy Cross, and you said that was God that kind of brought you guys together. Does faith play a role in your journey coming to Iowa and your football career?
I went to Christian school from pre-K through 8th grade, so I feel like I've always had a relationship with God, and and it's like it kind of sounds bad, but like when things are going good in your life, it's like, man, you kind of put God on the back burner, and it's like, and then when stuff's not going right, I'm falling back. You fall back to God so quickly, and it's just like you really got to cherish the moments. Like when things are going good, it's like it's because of you, but it's not because of you. Like there's definitely a role that God's playing in your life.
100%.
And I feel like that's how I try to live my life and try to live my journey. Definitely through ups and downs. And it's definitely not always consistent because, when I'm feeling myself, I'm feeling myself. Right. But at the same time, when I'm feeling myself, like, you got to know who put you in this position.
Right.
And especially with what you were talking about, like with my sister, it's just like the coincidence of that happening is just so crazy. I don't know what the odds would be, but the odds were in my favor that day.
Yeah.
So it's just, man, like I'll forever be grateful that moment that me, my mom, my sister got to have, my sister, my mom, and my brother. My brother came out for that game too. Dad had to work. Dad always working in Texas. So no, it was definitely a great moment. I'll never forget that. That was amazing. And she balled. So on top of that, she dropped like
she wasn't going to show up all the way and then not show out.
Exactly.
You definitely gave her a little more.
Oh, yeah.
A little more pep in her step being on the side.
They don't forgot who they played. I think they played like 2 games or something before they played Iowa. And, I'm sitting right behind the bench talking. Yeah, the whole time. And my sister, when it comes to basketball, like, I feel like she could score 40 every game. I feel like she was better than the school she went to, but she never played like it because, like, she loved basketball, but, like, she knew what she was there for. She was there to get that education, go ahead, get that good degree, and now let's get a good job. Her body's already hurting.
Neuroscience,
she was already fed up, like, but, me and my brother, like, go drop 40. What are you doing? Like, none of these girls can hold you. And it's just like, she's never really got into that Kobe mindset like that. But nevertheless, she was a baller. She did her thing all the time.
Yeah. Well, you can respect the fact that she's doing her thing now.
No doubt.
I'm sure she's in her Kobe mindset when she's doing the mice.
If things don't go right for me, I'm about to live with her. Me and my dad on the same time. My dad about to live in her basement. I don't know. I'm going to carve out a room somewhere in that multi-million-dollar house. She doesn't need to keep going on the up and up, so I can benefit.
Jeez. Oh, that's awesome. Okay. Well, Brian, this was so good.
It was a great time.
Yeah.
I appreciate it, man.
Thank you so much
Thank y'all for having me.
Oh, my gosh.
This was very fun. First pod.
First one ever.
First pod.
Maiden voyage.
You're right. You lost me for a second. I had to think about it. Maiden voyage. You're right.
You're going to be using that now.
No. I'm not.
Hey, you can't be cracking up our producer.
No hate, though. No hate, though. That's just not me. No hate, though.
It wasn't you yet, but you could get there.
Yeah.
It's a journey.
Yeah.
It's a journey. You'll be late to start it. It's all right. We already know, man.
You're going to start using Maiden Voyage.
You'll be
3.5.
And we're going to be all right.
Very cool. Well, we wish you the best luck the rest of the season.
Thank
and hopefully we'll have you back.
Of course.
Locally owned and operated, Performance is a full-service restoration company serving Eastern Iowa.
As an IICRC certified firm, their multi-licensed technicians have decades of experience in water, mold, and fire mitigation. Whether it's your home or business, this is the team you want in a time of need. Performance Restoration, 319-626-2292.
Hey Hawk fans, looking for the perfect spot to fuel up before or celebrate after a Hawkeye win? Look no further than Marquee Pizzeria, located in the vibrant Iowa River Landing.
Their wood-fired pizzas have truly changed the pizza game.
Whether you're cheering on the Hawkeyes or just searching for a delicious meal, Marquee Pizzeria is the place to be. Swing by and experience the best pizza in Iowa. Go Hawks.
When it comes to keeping our home comfortable, we trust only the best. Loudon Plumbing and Heating. Whether it's fixing a leaky sink, keeping the house cool, or making sure the furnace runs smoothly in winter, Loudon Plumbing and Heating is our go-to. For reliable service, trust the corridors best. Loudon Plumbing and Heating.
Looking to make a splash online in Eastern Iowa? Digital Boost is your local go-to digital marketing agency. They help local businesses connect with their ideal customers online.
Digital Boost has a diverse client base, ranging from small businesses to industry leaders, including well-known brands like DNR Pest Control and Advanced Millwork.
Visit their website at www.digitalboostia.com to learn more or contact them for a free in-person consultation. I love Estella's because it's fresh, from the fresh grilled steak to salsas to their fresh pressed tortillas.
I love Estella's because it's quick. We can get in and out, and it doesn't feel like fast food. It feels like fresh food quick.
We both love Estella's because it's made with love. They put a lot of pride in their food and customer service, and they are locally owned.
That's Estella's Fresh Max. Fresh food made quick with love.
All right, so it's homecoming week. But
yeah,
homecoming's exciting. Parade and the homecoming court.
Yeah, it's all about the game.
They obviously, but they do all kinds of other fun stuff. And I think there's going to be some really exciting special guests.
See, this is why it's good for both of us to be here. Because I'm like, just doing a game.
I know.
But you're here for all the other stuff.
All the accompanying things.
The accompanying things to the main event.
Yes. Speaking of that, I did want to say, I have said that the Michigan State Spartan is one of the better mascots, aside from Herky. They also have really good cheerleading uniforms and dance team uniforms at Michigan State. So I just wanted to say that. That's something else I noticed.
The other things that we just wouldn't know.
You literally would not know.
No?
I know. And also when we were talking to Brian and he was saying that it was between, or he had said that like Oregon, was it between Iowa and Oregon?
Yes.
That's what he said. And I wanted to ask, but I didn't want to put him on the spot because it might be kind of awkward to answer. I wanted to ask him, like, was there any part of you that wanted to choose Oregon because of their uniforms and because of all the gear I'm sure they get?
Mm-hmm.
I'd always said, like, if I would have been the type to move away from home, totally would have went to Oregon to cheer so that I could get all the different uniforms.
It's a lot of stuff.
The Oregon uniforms for the football team, when they looked like actual ducks, when they had like the orange socks and the orange shoes, prime. Don't you think?
I would agree.
I just think that's so cool. It's kind of silly, but I think it's really cool.
This isn't Oregon week.
You're right. It's not Oregon week. This is Northwestern homecoming week. So we're going to get into that preview brought to you by Big Grove Brewery. We love a good Big Grove.
And we just went there.
We just went there Saturday night and it was delicious. They had a jalapeno popper burger. So if you're going there on Saturday, because if you didn't know, Big Grove is the official watch headquarters.
They have game day specials.
They have game day specials.
Because I had the breakfast burger. I love bacon and eggs on burger.
Oh, that is what you had.
I love it. I don't know what it is about it, but I'm always in.
But I had the jalapeno popper burger. It was so good. So good. They have the best, and I'm convinced of this, the best sweet potato fries.
Really?
Amazing.
Is that why I didn't get any?
Yeah, I wasn't sharing. Not a chance. But yeah, so I'm going to start off. with we're just going to talk about their mascot. And I'm going to be honest, not a whole lot of information out there about Willie Wildcat.
There's probably a reason. His name is Willie.
His name is Willie.
Don't say what you're thinking. Just give us
I'm not saying anything that I'm thinking. I'm just saying that it's not a good name for a mascot. So I was finding some like different.
What is it? What if it's Wiley?
I don't know. You know, Matt, now that you're saying that, I feel it's Willie.
Oh, it's not Wiley.
And this is on the official Northwestern website. So I'm not going to take any flack for that.
No.
Wiley would be a lot better though.
Wiley would make
what is it?
The Wildcat?
Wiley Coyote, is that what he is?
Wile E Coyote.
Yeah.
E is his middle name.
But if he was Wiley Wildcat, oh, that's so much better.
That makes so much better.
Gosh, somebody needs to hire us to fix things. I'm so tired of it. I'm just kidding. Well, I found some like conflicting information out there.
Oh no.
So I read that in 1894 that they got the Wildcat name because some alumni suggested it because they said the football team was fierce, agile, and courageous. So they should be the Wildcats. And they were like, yeah, that sounds good. Thanks. So I read that and I was like, it's not very convincing. So then I don't even know where I read it.
That's not a good enough story for me. I'm going to keep digging.
Yeah, there has to be something better. Isn't there like a conspiracy somewhere? No, but that was on like it wasn't like Wikipedia. So I thought like, oh, this has to be like a pretty good website. Like it just seemed like it. Well, then I went to the official Northwestern website and it says before 1924, they were known as the Fighting Methodists or the Purple. So that would take out 1894 being when they became the Wildcats. So I'm just saying, I'm covering all my bases because if somebody comes at me, it's like, actually, it was 1894. But I just have this inkling that it was probably a little closer to the 1924. The Fighting Methodists or the Purple, that's what they started out as. Then in 1923, okay, they decided they needed some kind of mascot. So they got a baby bear from a zoo that was like...
Another real one?
No, they has to stop. No, it's sadder. It doesn't die, don't worry. We heard enough of the like real animals passing away with the husky. But they named him Furpaw, just super cute. Furpaw. Good job. Similar to like the Sun Dodgers. Like, what if they were the Northwestern Furpaws? Cute.
Furpas.
Little close to a word that I'm not going to say.
No.
You ruined it. I liked it and you ruined it.
Sun Dodger.
So
that's timeless.
So after
the Furpas.
That was horrible. Okay. So after a losing season in 1923, they decided that Furpaw was the reason.
They blamed the bear?
They totally did and said like, look, he's bad luck. Get him out of here. So they said like, we're not having him as a mascot anymore. I just thought that was so rude.
Come on, get out. That's what that was.
That's all your fault. For what? Like, and he would be there like before the games for the fans to come by and like see him. And I guess they would like give him high fives and stuff.
That sounds so cool.
It does, but I think I'd get real sad seeing a little baby bear in a cage.
Yeah, there's that too.
I don't even like zoos because of that reason. So then in 1924, Wallace Abbey, who was a journalist, for the Chicago Tribune, he wrote an article where he said that the football team fought like wildcats. And so then people were like, cool, like we should just be the Wildcats.
So it really is because of the 1894 reason.
No, because this is from a journalist. It's not like a bunch of alumni that came up with it.
Right, but I'm saying that the sentiment is the same. Like the team played like this, so it should be this.
Fair. Exactly. You could make that argument. So shout out Wallace Abbey for creating the Wildcat name.
Wabby.
What?
W-Abby. Wabby.
So then in 1947, and I find this so interesting that a lot of these mascot stories, how they like originate is A, they like come from some random like idea, but then B, they're like usually facilitated or like they start by like student led and specifically through fraternities or sororities. And a lot of times it's fraternities that they're like, yeah, we really need to get a costume out there.
Get all the testosterone pumping to make a wildcat.
Yeah. Interesting. So anyway, again, 1947, it was like 3 or 4 guys from the Alpha Delta fraternity.
So hold on. Sorry. What? So 23 years, they didn't have a mascot.
Correct. They had the name, the Wildcats.
Gotcha.
And they didn't have a mascot. And then these guys were like, we need one. And so they came up with Willie Wildcat. And so these guys were like, okay, great. We're going to make the head of the costume. And so they made it out of, I don't even know what. And then their moms, were you going to say paper mache?
I was going to say paper mache.
I don't know. It didn't say. But then their moms sewed the body, the costume of it. That's so funny. Super cute. And it required 2 people to be like the front and then somebody for the back. I don't want to know how that works.
Was it on all 4s?
I don't know. They didn't have a picture. They didn't describe it or like explain it. So I was like, is it on all 4s or were they standing like on each other's shoulders? And then when I'm thinking about all 4s, I just don't know how that works. So.
Well, now I'm thinking it wasn't a 12-foot tall mascot. There's no way that they were on shoulders.
So I don't know, Matt.
So it had to have been on all fours.
I don't want to even think about it. Can you imagine being in there?
No.
No. So then 1948, it was actually 2 girls that were inside this costume that decided that they were going to be Willie Wildcat. But they went to Notre Dame. And at the time, Notre Dame had this rule that no women at all could be on the field. It was like a very staunch rule. Like, you cannot be on the football field. And so they said that their mascot couldn't come because it was 2 girls inside the mascot. And they talked to the officials, which apparently the refs had a say in all of this, and they let them come in and be on the field. Isn't that so funny? That was in 1948. Then, 1949, more things happened with the Willie Wildcat. And again, it was I don't know if it was the 2 same girls, it was 2 girls inside this costume. And the Purdue male cheerleaders, while they were at Purdue, thought it was funny to like pick up Willie Wildcat and throw him into the Boilermaker. So
the girls were in the costume and
they threw him inside the Boilermaker, not the real one, but like inside this train. And they didn't realize that they were women. And so like when they started like screaming and yelling, like it's 1948, you don't do that to women, right? Like now I'd be like, oh, who cares? I'm just kidding. You can take that out. But they didn't realize they were women. Yeah, you can yellow pants that. Didn't realize they were women in there, heard them screaming. And then they're like, okay, we need to take them out. Took them out and apologized. And the whole time I'm like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. This is crazy. And I'm reading this. And the whole time I'm just stuck on the fact of I don't understand how they're inside the costume. I just don't know how the costume works like logistically. So I really should try to find a picture of it. But that's it. That's the story of Willie Wildcat.
Should have been Wiley.
Yeah. And he's gone through like a bunch of different
iterations,
changes, I'm sure. Well, I know since then, but they didn't really talk about that, which typically they do. They're like, oh, and then in the 50s, he was made of this. And then in the 60s, he looked like that.
But Northwestern didn't care enough?
I guess not. Nobody cared enough to keep track. I tried. Have you seen their new field? Or they have a, I don't want to spend too much time on this, just really quickly. They have like an interim field that they're using right now. Have you seen it? It's like really cool. I mean, it doesn't fit that many people. And it doesn't look like really like a college stadium, but it's right along the lake. It's pretty cool. And then they partnered with Northwestern, partnered with a marketing and events experience company kind of thing to like make their Saturday game days special, since everything is different now because everything's like under construction and you have a temporary stadium and all these things. And so they have like all of these different like activities you get to do there. They have a giant jumbotron where they play the game. So if you're not inside the stadium, you can still watch it like with everybody and like outside and enjoying it. And then they have like tables and all kinds of stuff set up, games, food, like all this cool stuff, and like alumni that you can come see. Anyway, sounds really cool. And then they're right next to the lake. So you have this like beautiful view. And then the jumbotron thing, they're like, yeah, come as early as you want, stay as late as you want, and you can watch any of the other games. Kind of cool.
Interesting. So
you have to make the best out of like an interim situation.
They're like a sports bar.
A little bit, but better.
It's like
when it starts to get cold, I'd imagine it won't be as exciting.
I'm blanking on it's like blank and blank. You go. It's like a sports bar. They did a lot of marketing. Oh, this is driving me crazy.
They have like an arcade there?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, this hurt.
What's the name of it?
Oh, what's the name? Dave and Buster's.
Dave and Buster's. I want to say Dooney and Burke, but that's a purse company.
Yeah, it's not that one. I was going to say Fuddruckers, but I've been there. Anyway, something similar. That's all really cool. The virtual, like the marketing stuff, that kind of reminded me of, I don't know how long ago it was or if they still do it, but in Baltimore, they have a virtual Raven for the Baltimore Ravens that fly around.
Why is what I just said reminded you of that?
You said like they teamed up with a marketing and event company.
Oh, sure.
And I was like, oh, do they have like a wildcat that runs through the stadium?
And his name is Wiley.
Well, it should be. But that'd be kind of cool.
That would be really cool. Maybe when they get their actual stadium.
Yeah.
Anyway, there you go.
Cool. Thanks, Laura.
You're welcome. The way he looks, Willie, I mean, Not terrible.
Quit looking at Willie.
You, too many innuendos. That's your second one. It has to stop. It has to stop. All right. Tell me about Northwestern, though, as a team.
They're 3-3 on the year. They're not great, but they're not terrible. They're coming off a 23-3 loss to Wisconsin. It was an interesting game. They moved the ball okay against Wisconsin. They've actually got a quarterback, so similar to Aiden Childs for Michigan State. This kid can run it, Lausch, and he's actually their second leading rusher right now, both in terms of carries and yards. He's not afraid to take off. He took off quite a few times against Wisconsin. And we just saw a running quarterback, so I wouldn't be surprised if defensively we have some kind of spy. And I think I might have talked about this, but it also changed the way in which you rush the passer. Did I talk about this before?
I don't know.
So a lot of times defensive ends, like, do you know why they call it the pocket? Maybe we'll start there. Like when the quarterback throws it from the pocket, why do they call it the pocket?
Because typically it forms like we've talked about this before, because I said it was like a U shape and you're like, well, it could be a C shape because it forms like that shape. And then he sits in there and it looks kind of like a little pocket.
So a lot of times defensive ends, they can do a bull rush. Do you know what a bull rush is?
Nope.
So a bull rush is where the defensive end basically just tries to run through the offensive lineman. Like there's no moves or anything. It's just, I'm going to try and bully you, essentially. I'm going to be a bull and run through you.
Okay, I could have guessed that.
So you can do that. Or sometimes they'll try and like do separate moves, whether it's like knock their hands down and do a spin and like do all this other cool stuff. There's a lot of cool techniques that you can watch. But one of the most common is almost like a dip and rip, where they try and run and basically beat the tackle to his spot. Because if you think about it, the defensive end he's facing where he wants to go and he's running forward. And the offensive tackle has to backpedal and then be ready for him to come underneath or ready for a stunt or ready for him to beat him over the top or to bull rush. Like it's pretty hard to be an offensive lineman. But anyway, they try to bend the horn essentially, where you beat the tackle to the spot and then you get by him to sack the quarterback. Well, what happens against a running quarterback, and the interior guys just kind of push their guys back. They are trying to get the sack, but they might do a stunt. And what I mean by a stunt is, let's say you have a nose guard, or you have a tackle, and then you have an end. Well, the tackle might go first and try and take the guard with the tackle. So I'm talking the defensive tackle here. He's one of the bigger guys. It'd be like Graves or YA. And essentially they run at the tackle of the offensive line. He's lined up over the guard, so he's hoping that the guard follows him to get to the tackle, so that way they both block him while the end would run underneath YA. So in this case, let's say it's Max Llewellyn. Max would run underneath YA to kind of make it through there, and then hopefully get the sack because two people had to block YA and nobody blocked Max. Okay, in that instance. So there's all kinds of different stunts you can do based on whether we're standing up or where we're aligned, all that kind of stuff. Well, when you rush a quarterback that runs a lot, you can't always just straight up bend the horn and try and beat him to the end, because what happens is when you do that, if your guards or if your nose tackles, in our case, between Graves and YA, if they don't also kind of have a lane integrity, and what I mean by a lane is basically, hey, you should be around this area, okay? So if they have a lane that they're in, then when the quarterback looks to run, he has nowhere to go because everybody's where they need to be, while you're still trying to sack him. But if, let's say, they bend the horn and then all of a sudden we did a stunt where both our tackles go one way, you can leave a gap to where the quarterback can run. And that happens sometimes. I think it happened once against Aiden Childs. And that's usually why you have a spy, which would be like a middle backer, it'd be Jay or it'd be Nick. Basically, hey, wherever this quarterback goes, that's where you go, to make sure that he doesn't make those kind of big plays. So we're going to need to do something similar with Lausch, have really good lane integrity rushing the passer, as well as potentially have a spy on the back end. I think this week of practice, we need to determine who that other corner is and say, this is the guy. There's been a lot of rotating pieces on defense now, which we're not accustomed to seeing. We are accustomed to the next man in mentality, just not so much on the defensive side of the ball. So now we have to deal with that and kind of understand who's going to come in and make a couple plays. I think about Jordan Lomax, when I was playing corner. He goes down, Desmond King goes in as a freshman. We all know how the Desmond King story ended. Played All-American, played in the league for a while. And then Lomax actually moved to safety because it better suited our scheme.
I did not know that.
Yeah, that's the only reason Desmond even got to play early. Lomax pulled his hamstring early on in that 2013.
Wow, okay.
So along with that, it's like, okay, now who's going to step up and be that guy? Is it Nestor? Is it Hall? Is it Lee? Like, somebody's got to solidify themselves. That's the tough part, right? Is like the coach, you're going to listen to the coach and the coach is going to say, well, these three are competing. But really it's up to the player. Like, are you going to separate yourself and be undeniable that you're the next guy? It's not up to the coach to pick who's the best. It's up to the player to decide, am I better than the guy next to me? And I'm going to go out and prove it on a day-to-day basis. You've got Sunday and film to reflect. You've got Monday to go out there and do it. Tuesday to go out there and do it. Wednesday to go out there and do it. By Thursday, you should know I'm better than these other two guys. And if I didn't separate myself, then that's an issue in and of itself because you didn't separate yourself.
Okay.
That's the coach speak coming through a little bit.
Sheesh.
Oofta. So we'll need to do that. And basically just take care. The big thing that's going to play in our favor is third down. So they're 26% on the year on third down.
What percent are we, do you know?
We're about 48.
Okay.
Which is average, by the way.
Okay.
It's not great. It's not bad. It's average.
Okay.
We were trying to get 48.3%, I think, under Coach Davis, game by game. They're at 26. That's what we in the business say, not that good. So we're going to have to win on third down and force them to punt. That was one thing we didn't have against Michigan State. Have to force them to punt so that we can take advantage, right? Get their offense off the field and then worry about getting our offense going a little bit. I think there hopefully will be some unique ways going with Caleb Johnson, how to get him the football.
Hold on. I have to stop you before we get to the offensive side of the ball. I do want to say, if you're trying to get to the game on Saturday or any of the remaining games, you should go to biggrove.com/Hawkeyes because they're giving away tickets all season long. So go do that. Go check it out and hopefully find yourself in Kinnick Stadium on one of the remaining Saturdays. Okay, go ahead. The offense.
Sorry, I started rolling.
That's okay.
Got excited. So I think we're going to have to find unique ways. We've already found quite a few different ways to get Caleb Johnson the ball. We did the end around with Weegan to make sure that they stay respecting everything that we can do, right? We've got guys that can punish the perimeter. We just have to use it more. I'm still surprised we're not seeing many bubbles or quick screens or things like that, which, I'm privy to because we threw a lot of them underneath Davis, right? And then we really haven't seen him make a comeback yet. I know it's not necessarily Lester's MO with that kind of stuff, but I know the RPO is. So I'm expecting to see some more of that. One thing that I thought was really good about Caleb Johnson's run, first of all, our line play was great, but we had what we call a nub on that side, meaning that there were no receivers over there. We just had a tight end. Now I'm okay overloading one side, and I'll get to that here in a second. But Cade, after he handed the ball off to Caleb, he turned back his shoulders and flipped like he was going to throw the ball. Like, that's a very small thing that could have been unsung hero worthy, but very small thing just to get their eyes to look at him for a second longer of, wait, maybe he didn't hand it off.
Okay.
Right? Just a little bit of hesitation because that's really all Caleb Johnson needs.
Yep.
And especially with the way our offensive line came off the ball in that particular play. So we got to find other ways to get in the ball. So I brought up a nub. So we were like a 2x1 or 3x1 nub. And what I mean by that is 3 receivers to the field, 1 to the tight end, 1 to the boundary side, which was Luke Lachey. I'd like to go unbalanced a little bit. So you always have to have 7 guys on the line of scrimmage. But a lot of times when you face a team that goes man-to-man a lot, which Northwestern doesn't a lot, but you can dictate when they go man-to-man on some certain scenarios, to where they go corners over. What corners over means is normally you have left corner and right corner. So the left corner plays man-to-man on whoever's that side. Right corner plays man-to-man on whoever's on that side. But the thing is, when you go unbalanced, meaning you cover up a guy, so what that means essentially is that the end guy on the line of scrimmage is eligible. Everybody off the line of scrimmage is also eligible, meaning that they can catch a pass. If you're not the end guy on the line of scrimmage, you cannot catch a pass. It's illegal. It's illegal man downfield. You can block downfield if the ball's thrown on our side of the line of scrimmage, but that's it. So we'd have to cover up a tight end like Luke Lachey or Zach Ortworth or whoever was playing. But if you can dictate man-to-man and then get all these guys over here, now you don't have any corners on this side that's waiting. They might pull a safety or move a linebacker out a little bit, but I think you get numbers in the box that way to kind of dictate how they play. I think it's a lot easier to get the edge when you don't have to have somebody on the far side that's really doing contain. So I say all this because I think there's still unique ways, like run. There's a lot of things you can do in run game. I know a lot of times it's like you hand it off up the middle, you hand it off outside, and you toss it. Like there's not a ton. There's a decent amount of variation that can happen within each based on how you can dictate what the defense does. We just need to get really good at what we're doing. And then how can we make it look different? You know, Coach Brian always used to call it lipstick on a pig. I think Coach Davis said the same thing. It's the same play. It just looks a little different.
I like that.
And we got to utilize the play action. We got to continue to do that. Like I said, I like the play calling on the over to Reese. We just missed the pass. There's just little things that I think we can continue to get better at. We'll see if Brendan Sullivan's package gets a little bigger. Like I said, I like it on that 3rd down and short, 4th down and short, considering that's what he does at the goal line. How does that differ when we get into the field of play? Just little things like that I think are going to be beneficial.
Cool. Sounds good.
There was one thing that was a little wonky about their game against Wisconsin. There was back-to-back blocked field goals. Northwestern drives all the way down, gets their field goal blocked. Wisconsin drives all the way down, gets their field goal blocked. So I don't know if that's sloppy special teams, if it's really good special teams. I don't know. But
interesting.
I'd like to get another one of those.
With how many stats that they can come up with now? Like the one that we saw on one of the games, it was like, this is like, they have the most back shoulder passes. And
yes.
we're like, how did they find that stat? Like, who did that? I'd like to know what the stat is of back-to-back blocked field goals in like all of football. It has to be like really
it's got to be
low.
something crazy.
All right. Well, what's the weather supposed to be on Saturday? Let's look. 67 and sunny. That's not bad. I could
That's
totally
great.
wear like pants. I don't have to wear shorts, you know? I'm tired of wearing shorts. I hate to say it because I won't be saying that when it actually gets cold. But either way, 67 and sunny, homecoming game. I hear there's lots of great alumni, great Hawkeyes returning. Should be fun.
Can I say one more thing about the Northwestern game?
What? I was still talking about the Northwestern game. But go
Okay.
ahead.
One more schematic thing.
Oh boy. Okay.
I think what'll help our pass game is they run historically they've been a more quarters coverage team. I know I discussed what you can do if you manipulate man-to-man, but they go quarters, which means that their safeties are down and want to be in the run game. And a lot of times what we've done in our formations is bring tight and then basically bring everybody in the box so that we can block the safeties. But the way that they play quarters coverage, it turns into man really quick, but they're playing off and kind of like looking in at the ball. What that means is they've got a true blind spot. So like comebacks, outs, those types of routes are going to be open. Curls, hitches, depends on how we come off the ball. Like there are things in the pass game that quarters coverage gives up to allow those safeties to play harder in the run fit. So I think that this will be a good coming out party kind of for Cade to just get in a rhythm and show that like dink, 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 something like that. I caught a big post against Northwestern in 2017, just because that's what quarters coverage opens it up to. Like he's already usually he's a head up to outside shoulder. So then you can beat him across his face. The way that I've seen him play this year is the more inside shoulder, which again, comebacks, outs, curls, something like that. You can get to a point where they can't see you and you can kind of run what you want. So I'm hoping that we utilize some of that too.
Cool.
All right, now I'm done with schematics. No.
That's okay. It was really good. It was really good, Matt.
Yeah. You're only doing it for the cameras.
All right. Well, the weather's going to be lovely. And if you're headed to the game, it should be perfect tailgating weather. But when you go into the stadium, definitely grab, what do they have? Like Easy Eddie, a couple other ones that they've got. Yeah, there you go. A couple other ones that they've got inside Kinnick Stadium because Big Grove Brewery is the official craft brewery of the Iowa Hawkeyes. And if you are not going to the game, you have to go to Big Grove. They've got Des Moines, Iowa City, Solon, and Cedar Rapids locations. It's everywhere. So go ahead and just pop into one of those, the official watch headquarters of the Hawkeyes, Big Grove Brewery. We just thank them for their sponsorship and their, what's the word I'm looking for?
Support.
Thank you.
And you know what we could use? We could use your guys' support on the new channel. We know that a lot of you guys watch it on the Talk About Network with the Stellas, and that's great, but we want you on the other one. So the one on Talk About is not the full interview. It's just not, because we want you to go over to the Talkin Hawks channel on YouTube. So that one's got the full interview. We'll do giveaways over there. There's all kinds of good stuff that happens over on that official channel on YouTube.
Yeah. Make sure you're following us on Instagram, Facebook, X, Twitter. I'm always going to call it that. TikTok. And liking, commenting, subscribing. That always helps us. And hope you love this episode. Brian Allen Jr., fantastic interview. And we'll be back next Monday. We'll see you then. Go Hawks.
Go Hawks.